Hello everybody, it's that time of the week again, another Sunday's Wardy's Waffle. Hope you're all having a good week. We've had some decent weather this week, no rain. We've managed to get quite a bit of land work done up on the light land, but not on the heavy land yet. So just before I get into what we've got going on in this update, I just wanted to touch on some claims that we've had for barley. Now, those of you who watched the video, I think it was the one I put up on Friday night about the barley was going, or was it Wednesday night's video? I can't remember because I've done two this week. We were loading some barley out. Now, this was the barley that failed. It should have been malting barley that went in October, but because it was too high in nitrogen, because I think it was planted late last spring, it wasn't put in the ground till middle end of April, it failed on the nitrogen. It should have been 1.85% or below nitrogen, and it was nearly 2%. Now, the really galling thing is I sold that really well at £255 a tonne. Because it failed, it couldn't go for that. It's now gone for feed. So because barley was dropping as wheat's been dropping all the time, I sold it only about 6 weeks ago for £140 a tonne. So massive reduction compared to what it would have been if it made the malting grade. But the galling thing is, it went to Frontier, it went up to a feed mill up in Yorkshire, I think it was, and I've got a claim, £6 a tonne for moisture because it was 15.7, and apparently I knew it should have been 15, but I didn't realise it's 15.7. They've knocked £6 a tonne off for 0.7 moisture, which is horrendous. And they've knocked £4 a tonne off for bushel weight because it was a 61 instead of 62. Now that's £10 a tonne off. So that barley, I'm only going to be getting £130 a tonne for it, which is about cost of production. So that is nearly half what it would have been if it had made the grade. And this is just horrendous when you look at the costs of growing a crop. But it was such a wet spring last year, we couldn't get it in sooner than we did. And so that's one of the reasons why, if we don't get the crops in this spring, if we don't get the spring crops in before probably April the 10th at the very latest, then we won't be planting the spring crops because it's just not viable to put them in and lose money. Anyway, I'm really hacked off with that, and it's just another example of these claims and being ripped off with these claims. It really isn't acceptable. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on that. I'm going to object to them and see if I can get them lowered or get them taken away altogether. But we'll see. We'll let you know how we get on that one. Anyway, this update, quite a lot going on. I've got the weaving drill that we had on demonstration. You heard me mention in the last video that was coming. So I've got that here, got some footage of that. We've also got fertilising with the sprayer, the liquid fertiliser put on the wheats. We're going around and doing all those. Bit of an update on that. Also soloing with the 8RX, we've finished the Beet land off, and also drilling with the 8RX. We're planting spring barley with our free flow drill. So 2 drills running in this update. So that's it now for the intro. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you at the end. Just before we get into this update, are you looking for a job? Are you looking to further your career? Because a relative of mine has a job vacancy. These are the details here, the postcodes here, and the email address for it to respond to. It's mainly to drive the quad track for cultivations and drilling. Also some fertiliser spreading and spraying as well. A really well-run farm with modern, well-maintained machinery, great infrastructure, and it'd be a good place to work. So if you're interested, either reply to this email here that you've just seen, or reply to me in the comments and I'll put you in touch. We're just getting some seed ready, waiting for the weaving drill to come. We're just going to do it in the shed here. It's really windy outside and the bags will blow everywhere. It's just going to get it done in the shed. Everybody has seen the second-hand trailer we bought with an auger on it for filling the drill up for seed. Well, we're still looking at that. We haven't got that done yet, but we will be using that hopefully this next autumn. But until then, we're using these hoppers to fill the drill. Just lifting those up now. Just undo these strings. That's it. There's a tonne in that bag, so 1,000 kilograms. And these hoppers hold 1.5 tons. It's a lot safer holding them up over a machine than stood underneath them. That's it. We're just going to back it round to the side of this shed out the wind because it is really windy up here today. We've got decent tyres on this fence, so Simon's just letting some air out. We don't need all the air pressure in. So just looking around this drill, we'll just nip up the top. Just have a look in the hopper. We're just waiting for the Manitou to come back. Ruben's loading some barley. This is where the seed goes in. This is just a grill here to stop any debris dropping in. It will sit on top there. But just looking at here, so this is where the seed goes in. So what happens is the seed is metered out at the bottom there, and then it's blown up that centre tube to the top, spins around in the top there, and then comes out all these tubes. And then these tubes are what you can see going here to the tines. And obviously this is folded up at the minute. This will fold down into work position, but this is for transporting it when it's like that. So we'll put that on there just until Ruben gets us some seed. That's where the seed goes. So yeah, that wing there will fold down. That wing will fold down to make it, and it's 6 meters wide when it's all folded down. And these are the tines. This is where the seed comes out at the back. So we're going forward that way, very narrow point, and then the seed comes out the back here. Looking forward to seeing this running. We tried it in our direct drilling demo we had 2 years ago, and this was one of the 10 drills running, and we really liked it. It gave one of the better performances for establishment and yield. I've just unfolded it. You can see now this is the work position. Got the fan on, that's what that loud noise is, and that's to blow the seed from inside the hopper through the tubes down to the end. Down there, that's where the seed comes out. So the depth of this machine is set on these transport wheels there, and that's with the shims in the ram. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Going really well up here, but the soil's really nice and light. Fair bit of stone this end, you can just see. Be interested to see what it comes up like. I've always liked these drills, right from when we saw it at our direct drilling day. See I'm in the cab now with Harry. So what have we got on the screen now? We're just looking at work rate and fuel. And
yeah, so we're currently doing about 11.5k.
Yeah.
We've all got the 6 meter saver time behind us, and we're currently running around 7.2 hectares an hour. Now with this tractor, we've got a fuel
and this is a Fendt 724. You can just see down there. It's not ours. It belongs Weaving's.
So we're currently doing just below 4 litres a hectare, or around.
I'm trying to hold I'm trying to hold my phone still and it's not working. I can just see there below the fuel tank. You can just see.
Yeah, so we're doing anywhere from 3.5 to 4 litres a hectare.
Yeah.
Or around 25 to 28 litres an hour.
Litres an hour, brilliant. Yeah, great. Well, there it is from the back. So Simon was saying this is your first demo, is it, this year?
This year, we normally do an awful lot in the autumn.
Yeah.
But we didn't really, obviously with the weather, we didn't seem to get that many out.
No.
And then obviously this is the first one this year, this spring.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get back out.
Nice to get out
in the fields again.
And there's not many demo you come to in such good conditions as this.
No, I can't believe how good it is.
It's just, this is Lincolnshire heathland for you. Got just Tom and Ruben are just setting the sprayer up just to fill it with nitrogen and go up the heath and put some nitrogen on the spring barleys at the heath and also on the winter wheat on the heavier ground that we haven't done yet. Be a bit sticky, but they're just filling the sprayer up and then they've been filling the bowser up from the tanks. I'm just walking down the grass margin to towards Barry. He's just working in front of me. I haven't been down here for 2 or 3 days. You can see I've got the woolly hat, thick jumper and coat on. It's Friday afternoon, but it's bitingly cold here. We've got a wind coming off the east coast, but the good thing with that direction is it's a drying wind. I don't know what temperatures, it can't be any more than 4 or 5 degrees with a wind chill factor bringing it lower than that, but it's really good at drying things up a little bit. Still too wet to get on any land. This is on our heavy land. This is one of the sugar beet fields. Got to be patient before we get on any of these, but I'll just flip the camera and you just see that even this margin is just starting to dry up a little bit. Just a bit soggy here, but there was water stood here last time I walked down here to see how Barry's getting on. And when we look out across here now, there's been water here. You can see it's run together. You can see that glistening still, but this is just starting to dry up a little bit on top. The green you can see there is rubbish that will need spraying off with glyphosate, with Roundup. Barry's taken a lot off here, he told me this morning. He's having to spread it out and over all this edge of the area and sort of spread it out so it's not so thick, but it's about 18 inches deep. He's brought such a lot off the banks here. Still got water here. There is a drain underneath this corner. It was put in here specially down this side, so not sure why that's not working very well. We need to look at that. So you can see the amount is brought out here. He's spreading that all along there, doing a really good job. He was going to fetch some off this corner, which I think he has done. Oh, he's got this finished now. Crikey, this is good. When you look through here, this is what he did a week ago, but all this has just been done the last 2 or 3 days. Slope the banks back fantastic here. There's obviously a root in the bank there. Built this up here because it was very low on this corner. He's got all the heaps burnt now, which is another good thing. Got those done. So we'll work all this area when it's drier in April, May, and put it back into stewardship. Taking quite a few of these stunt bends out. So just got some nice gradual ones now. Just looking down here, there's something been crawling under there, whether it's a mole or something on that bank, I'm not sure. The crop's starting to dry, the ground's starting to dry. You can just see some little cracks in it. And it's dry on my boots, which is good. Ruben's in here putting some liquid nitrogen on. Beauty, these tyres haven't sunk in at all there, which is great. A little bit of an indentation. You can just see fertiliser coming out the dribble bars. That's liquid nitrogen, 30% nitrogen. So we're putting on 256 litres a hectare. That's the GPS switch that on and off. We're putting on 256 litres a hectare, which will give the crop 100 kilograms a hectare of nitrogen. See how the boom goes gull wing when you turn? That's just so that when you turn, you don't catch the end of the boom on the ground. The sprayer's not as lathered up as I thought it was going to be, actually. I thought it'd be a lot worse than that. It'll come on again in a minute. There we go. You can see the far side's not on because it's done that when you're going around the outside. And then, oh, you can't quite see. You can see there, but under the sprayer on the other side of the boom's not on. And then gradually it will come on with the GPS, will gradually switch itself on automatically. Yeah, we need the boom calibrating. You can see that left hand side's dipped down quite a lot. It's weaving up and down too much for my liking. That's all fertiliser, that's going on. Now if you can just see along there, there's a section at the end not on, just gone on there, a bit more to go on yet. And the reason it does that is because when we I'll show you here. When we go around the outside, when we first come into any field, we always go around the outside of the field first. So of course the sprayer is 32 metres wide, so it does 32 metres. So from the edge of the lane there to the tram line, or where the sprayer runs, that's 16 metres there, and then another 16 to the outside. You can just see actually the line of the sprayer. There we go. So you can see that line down there. So that was when Tom drilled this and put the seed in. All that is what we call the headland. So that's all been done when we've gone around the outside. So as we're coming down the field, here's the tram line, and the sprayer gets to that point, it automatically switches off because that's been done. Really clever how it works. It's linked to the GPS on the machine. Just walking over the lane. This is starting to dry. You see there, see it crumbling on the top. See there, that crack there. Yeah, that's starting to dry. You can see some of this land, the rougher it is, the better it is for drying, because when it's like this, the air and all the, if there's any sun, can get into it better. This field's coming sugar beet as well. So this is where the sugar beet was. You saw early on in this clip, or the other day when I did the videoing. This is all that's left, so that's our sugar beet gone for this year. We've got a bit of soil there to put out. We've got a lot of soil here to spread out. Yeah, we've got a lot of soil here to spread out before Tom solos the headlands, but he's busy drilling. He's just filled up, let's put some seed in. So Saturday's job is come with the Manitou while it's dry here. Well, I say that, it does talk a little bit of rain, hope it doesn't, and spread this out all the way down this margin before Tom solos it. It's really good to get all this soil out the way and get it incorporated back in, so I hate leaving it because it goes all smelly and wet if you leave it over the summer. Anyway, we're going to have a look at Tom drilling when he comes past us, but this looks to be going really well. This was soloed a bit ago, like 2 days ago. It's had all this wind on it. You can see that's the soloing. And then now we're on to what's drilled. Looks really good. We always do everything at an angle, just keeps the fields nice and level, just helps. That's the solo and press lines. You see we're drilling at a slight angle to it. Those lights on that RX are good. Yeah, going an absolute treat, that is. So I'm in the shed at the heath. You can just see the lights. Tom's drilling just 2 fields away from the yard. So I'm just getting some more seed ready for him here. So just to explain what we're doing, these hoppers hold 1.5 tons each, but because we have the seed done, dressed and put into bags in 1 ton bags, because obviously that's better than half-ton bags, and you can't get 1.5 ton bags, unfortunately. So we put a ton in each hopper, and then we'll lift another hopper like that one above this one and open the slide and fill that one up. And by then, that's let 1/2 ton out of there into that one. So there's 1.5 tons in there, but only 1/2 ton in there, and then we'll put another bag in there. So we can get 3 1-ton bags into 2 hoppers. And some people have said to me, why do we use hoppers? Why don't we just lift the bags over the machine? Well, it's a lot quicker and it's safer to lift the bags over the hopper here in the shed, and then me or Ruben take seed to Tom, because then you just pull the slide at the bottom and you can fill the drill up in about less than a minute. Whereas if you've got bags outside in the wind, they're blowing about, they're not safe, and it's just aggravation. So we'd much rather use the hoppers. It's on the Manitou, and just so you can see what we're doing. So this slide, if I can do it one-handed, I'll just undo that. And you can see there, that's just filling a bit more in here, and I'll level it out so we can get as much in as possible. There's about 1.5 tons in there. That'll be good, and then we'll be able to get another now 1 ton bag in that top hopper. We're soloing the beet land that was only lifted last week, getting it drilled with barley. We don't plough. We haven't ploughed anything since I think 2003 was the last time we ploughed. So you can see we use the solo. We've got discs at the front, and it's got loosening legs underneath, sorry, behind. We can only run these about 8 inches deep though, because that's all the soil we've got. We're into limestone under that. Then we've got a press there that consolidates it. Then we've got another set of discs that's running a bit deeper. Then we tow the press at the back just to consolidate it a bit more, make it ready to drill. And then we'll go straight into that with the Simba drill. Tom's on the last breed of this field. We do the headlands last, not first, and then work from the inside out when he's doing the headlands. So that's why when he's going around the hedge side, that's the last breed of the whole field. It's about a 55 acres, 56 acre field, something like this. Really good. So this is just from the solo. This is what it does. Leaves it really level and work while we don't plough, and then that's just the drill over it. You can see the difference. Gone in really well. Hopefully we can find the seed somewhere. It's always a job with this drill though, because it does put it in so well. There we go. So in at a nice depth, but it's better that way, out the way of the rooks and the crows. No seed out on top at all, you can see, which is really good. Everything's buried. So if you ever wondered how you get machines from working with in the field to transport with going down the road, this is how they fold up with hydraulics. We've cleaned a lot of the soil off, and then any on the frame drops off. You can see it just dropping off so it doesn't drop off on the road. And that's what all these pipes do. So all these pipes here are all linked into the tractor hydraulics, and then that's hydraulic pressure that folds the wings up like that. So that's it going down the road. You see it from 8 metres working width. This is the only thing with those wheels. You can just see at the back there's some soil always sticks between those outer ones. I'll just get a shovel and clean that. Yeah, so this drill, it's great when you've got the right conditions, and when it's a bit marginal like this, it will work it in front when it's dry, but when it's a bit sticky, it's not the best. That's why we're looking at that weaving drill that you've seen earlier on in this clip. Going past the Beet heap now where it was wet. Tom's just soloed this area twice just to, it's going in really well there, made a big difference. You can see why it levels it so well. There's so much soil movement in the machine. That's field finished. Again, this Polaris, you can just see what little mess it makes of the fields. Hardly marks it.